Hey visibility hackers! Today we're talking about what makes a killer podcast host. Hosts will carry the show. No matter how great your guests are, a bad host is the ultimate turnoff. Don't become one of those. In this video, we're going to talk about the power of podcasting telepathy, the art of one-way conversations, and the visibility hacking 3-step domination system. The first trick is to be one with your audience. Tap in to that podcasting telepathy. All you have to do is sit in front of your podcasting mic, tap your fingers together, give yourself 2 taps on the forehead. No, podcasting telepathy is about actually understanding your people, building in opportunities to hear and understand what their problems are, and making sure that you have spaces for them to engage with you. When you're scripting out your episodes and when you're telling your stories, you want to make sure that you know what they're thinking along the story that you're telling. Understand what information are you holding back from them, what information are you giving them. Think about it this way. If you're watching like a true crime episode, you're watching detectives solve a case, every time that they find a new piece of evidence, that's new information that they have about the case overall. So when you're building out your episode, everything that you tell, every piece of information that you put into that episode is a new piece of information your people are gathering, helping them paint the whole picture. So make sure that you know what is that next piece of information you need to reveal. What is that next piece of learning that you need to share with your people so that they can continue on that path of success simply by listening to your podcast episode. If you have a podcast already, I want to know about it. Let us know down in the comments below. Post your links, all of that fun stuff. We want to see what you guys are up to, and we think that the visibility hacking community will also love to hear about your show. It can feel really daunting when you're creating a podcast, and even when you're starting to stream, we talk about this a lot. It's talking into the void. You may not have an audience at first, and you might just be speaking into the microphone and maybe nobody's listening at first. But what you want to do is become an expert at the art of one-way conversations, creating opportunities for your people to engage no matter when they're listening. They might not be there live, and they might listen to your episode 5 years from now. But if you've built in engagement systems into your podcast, then you're going to be able to have that conversation no matter when that customer comes upon that piece of content or that episode. So looking for places where you can ask them questions and get their feedback. Places where they can post their content or they can share what they're doing in their lives using your product, using your service, or just using what they've learned on your podcast. Have reflection questions for them. Have actions that they can take. And most of all, have calls to action or CTAs that are actually going to help them move and convert from being casual viewers into paying fans. And I'm going to show you an example of a very simple call to action. All I want you to do is take your finger or your mouse or whatever you use to select things on your YouTube page, and I want you to hit the subscribe button. Join us here on the channel. Every week we release new videos talking about how to build up your influence, your authority, and ultimately your income online. I would love to see you as part of our community, so hit that subscribe button and join us for the journey. Now it's time to talk about podcast domination and the visibility hacking system that we use. So if we take the world of podcasting and we break it down into the single most impactful thing that you can do on your show, that is having guests. When you have guests on your show, you can serve your audience with extra expertise, but you can also open yourself up to new audiences who might be searching for that expert. Oh, it's a wonderful thing, but there is a way to do that totally wrong and totally waste your time and their time. I've tried it. It sucks. But once we figured out this 3-step system, we realized it's actually really simple to dominate in the podcasting space because of the way that you engage with your guests. So the first thing you need to do is you need to actually prepare for those interviews. Go gather information, get to know the expert, and get to know the area that you're discussing. Have questions ready. Don't just show up to your interview and wing it because it's fun to listen to you have a conversation with someone. You might be a fantastic conversationalist, but if you don't have a path to success, you're going to just have an interview that kind of goes off the rails. You might provide value to some of your listeners, but without a plan to actually reach the majority of your listeners, you might be wasting your time. The second thing you need to do once you get your guest online with you, ready to record, ready to go live, whatever it is, however you present and record and prepare your episodes, you have to make sure that you're setting your guest at ease. Make sure that you don't just dive straight into the interview. Get to know them, set the tone, make sure they're comfortable. This will also build rapport with you, the interviewer, and it builds a longer lasting relationship. And that is the easiest way to get people to keep coming back onto your show and to also open you up to their audience as well. And the biggest piece of information you need to know, the third step, the most important step, is to be yourself. Don't try and fit someone else's mold. Yes, it's great to look at people who are successful interviewers, for example, and try to model what works. But at some point, when you're modeling others, you have the choice to either just do it the way that feels right to you, or to try and squish yourself into the frame of someone else. I say whenever you come up with that feeling, just be yourself. Just go with what feels right. Follow the frameworks that are successful, but the way that you do it, the way that you are able to find the nuance to success, that is from being yourself. So go out there, be yourself. But I also want to invite you to become one of us, a visibility hacker. And all you have to do is head over to visibilityhacking.com, click the link at the top of the page, I should say, that says Become an Official Visibility Hacker. And you too can become an official visibility hacker in our community. We have great conversations in there, and I would love to see you in there. So all you have to do, click those links, follow us, and I will see you in our next one. Until then, enjoy these videos. Remember, I love you. Be excellent to each other.